The Diary of Samuel Pepys, 10th of January 1661. There comes Mr. Hawley to me and brings me my money for the quarter of a year's salary of my place under Downing that I was at sea. So I did give him half, whereof he did in his nobleness give the odd 5 shilling to my Jane. So we both went forth, calling first to see how William Penn do, whom I found very ill. And at the Hoop, by the bridge, we drank 2 pints. Peter, shut up! We drank 2 pints of wormwood and sack, talking of his wooing afresh of Mrs. Lane, and of his going to serve the Bishop of London. Thence by water to Whitehall, and I found my wife at Mr. Hunt's. Leaving her to dine there, I went and dined with my lady, and stayed to talk a while with her. After dinner, Will comes to tell me that he had presented my piece of plate to Mr. Coventry, who takes it very kindly and sends me a very kind letter, and the plate back again, of which my heart is very glad. So to Mrs. Hunt, where I found a Frenchman, a lodger of hers, at dinner, and just as I came in was kissing my wife, which I did not like, though there could not be any hurt in it. Thence by coach to my uncle White's with my wife, but they being out of doors, we went home, where, after I had put some papers in order and entered some letters in my book, which I have a mind to keep, I went with my wife to see Sir William Penn, who we found ill still, but he do make very much of it. Here we sat a great while. At last comes in Mr. Davis and his lady, who takes it very ill that my wife never did go to see her, and so we fell to talk. Among other things, Mr. Davis told us the particular examination of these fanatics that are taken. And in short, it is this: of all these fanatics that have done all this, i.e., routed all the train bands that they met with, put the King's lifeguards to the run, killed about 20 men, broke through the city gates twice, and all this in the daytime, when all the city was in arms, are not in all about 31, whereas we did believe them, because they were seen up and down in every place almost in the city, and had been about Highgate 2 or 3 days, and in several other places, to be at least 500. A thing that never was heard of, that so few men should dare and do so much mischief. Their word was, the King Jesus and the heads upon the gates. Few of them would receive any quarter, but such as were taken by force and kept alive, expecting Jesus to come here and reign in the world presently, and will not believe yet, but their work will be carried on, though they do die. The King this day came to town. The 11th of January, 1661. Office Day. This day comes news by letters from Portsmouth that the Princess Henrietta is fallen sick of the measles on board the London, after the Queen and she was under sail. Hey, shut up! Go sit down now, I've had enough of you. Go sit down, you naughty boy. Try to do something. And so was forced to come back into Portsmouth Harbour, and in their way, by negligence of the pilot, run upon the horse sand. The Queen and she continue aboard, and do not intend to come on shore till she sees what will become of the young princess. This news do make people think something indeed, that 3 of the royal family should fall sick of the same disease, one after another. Peter, shut up! Goodness me, that dog. You go away as well, Dolly. Go away. Go on, I'm trying to do something. Go away. Where was I? This morning, likewise, we had order to see guards set in all the King's yards, and so we do appoint who should go to them. Sir William Batten to Chatham, Colonel Slingsby and I to Deptford and Woolwich. Portsmouth, being a garrison, needs none. Dined at home, discontented that my wife do not go neater now she has 2 maids. After dinner comes in Kate Sturpin, whom we had not seen a great while, and her husband to see us, with whom I stayed a while, and thence to the office, and left them with my wife. At night walked to Paul's churchyard, and bespoke some books against next week, and from thence to the coffee house, where I met Captain Morris, the upholsterer, who would fain have lent me a horse tonight to have rid with him upon the city guards with the Lord Mayor, there being some new expectations of these rogues, but I refused by reason of my going out of town tomorrow. So home to bed.